as we are the underdogs, unfortunately, but sometimes that can be fortunate. It puts a different type of fight in us because we have something to do, and that's to exceed the expectations that people have of us. I know for a fact that all of you individuals here in this room are going to touch the lives of our scholars and help them to transform into contributing citizens of our community. So for that, again, I thank you. I look forward to a great school year, and we've been trying to do some things to improve the conditions of the Chester Upland School District. So I ask that you be patient, and I know that once it's all done, it's going to be much cooler. It's going to be warmer in the winter. You know, it's going to be brighter with new lights. It's just going to be better, and our capital projects have yet to come to a conclusion. We will continue them, but we'll try to do it in a way that it doesn't interrupt the educational environment that we're in, especially for our scholars. So again, was protocol established? I'm looking at the superintendent. They're just looking at it. Okay. Okay. Well, good morning. And again, thank you, Dr. Holmes. He's a great addition to our team. I would like to acknowledge our superintendent of schools, Dr. Mean, our deputy superintendent, Dr. Sutton. I see board member McLaren is here representing the school board, city officials, county officials, everyone. We thank you again for supporting the Chester Upland School District. And at this time, I'll introduce Ms. Betty McLaren, who will be speaking on behalf of the elected school board. Followed by Ms. McLaren, we'll have Dr. Mean, our superintendent of schools. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Good morning. Good morning. It is so good to see all of you out there getting ready for our young people, because their lives are going to be changed by you. And because of that, they will get a chance to live beyond their high school years and move on into adult life and be able to live a life that their parents want for them and we want for them as educators. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what's happening in the administration. I appreciate the work that Dr. McWeen is doing. I know that Receiver Nichols keeps up with what's going on, and the administration is on it. Academics is very important, and I appreciate what Dr. Parker is doing. We have people that's working hard to help with the special ed services, and I know that things are going to continue to happen for them. Welcome back this year, and I wish you well.
Good morning, CUSD. Good morning. Good morning, CUSD. Good morning. Yay. Welcome to opening day for the 2025-2026 school year for the Chester Upland School District. Thank you to our speakers this morning, our students, and most importantly, I would like to thank each and every one of you today for choosing the Chester Upland School District. So please give yourselves a hand. Thank you for choosing. Whether you are new to the team or a returning team member, we welcome you with sea pride in Chester, Pennsylvania. While I joined this team in 2021 as Director of Accountability, as a member of the MCIU Recovery Team, and served as Assistant Superintendent in 2022, I have the privilege of serving as your Superintendent of Schools here in Delaware County, and look forward to what we will accomplish together in the third year of my tenure. Thank you. Over the past few years, we have worked to improve fiscal responsibility, invested in infrastructure, made progress toward workforce development, built relationships with our partners, expanded our educational program offerings, committed to mental health supports, and focused on equity for all while engaging our students and families. As a district, we have faced many challenges, and I commend you for the work that has been done collectively to get us closer to where we want to be. You should give yourselves a hand for that. As an educator, from Detroit, Michigan, who started this journey nearly 27 years ago as a building substitute teacher, who served as a classroom teacher, instructional coach, assistant principal, central office administrator, and now district leader. I have dedicated my career to working with teams across the nation on organizational effectiveness and purposefully impacting teaching and learning. So I want you to know, I see you. I see you. I see your excitement and frustrations, your happiness and sadness, your passion and indifference. What I see in you is the core of what makes us human. This understanding and our willingness to build positive relationships with our students, families, co-workers, and numerous stakeholders is what will put our district on the road to greatness. These connections build trust. This is critical to improving culture and climate in our schools and district offices. While we know we still have work to do, we also know that we have made many improvements in the Chester Upland School District. Each year, we focus on key areas that promote continuous improvement. For the 2025-26 school year, our district will place greater emphasis on 6 areas. These include 1, fiscal responsibility in our central office and schools, aligned to our recovery plan. 2, a focus on culture and climate across the district that meets students and families where they are. 3, continuous investments in our operations and facilities to improve the teaching and learning environment. 4, student support services with a comprehensive plan to address wellness. 5, special education services aligned with the district's educational program. And 6, a plan of action for implementing charter school oversight, as it is our responsibility. As district and school leaders collaborate across the system to support our teachers and classrooms and support staff in providing our students with access to quality educational services, I encourage you to continue to stay the course. Continue to stay the course. You have accomplished more than you know. I know that this can sometimes be hard to see because it feels like there's always much to do. There is. There are also times that it will feel impossible because of the level of support. I hear you and I see you. There are some who may not support our efforts, but there are also many that do. There are some who may not cheer us on or ever acknowledge the work that we do for our students, but there are also many who are cheering us on. Stay the course. Disregard the distractions that may not align with what our district is seeking to accomplish, but also be willing to receive feedback that helps improve our system, to give our students access to quality educational opportunities that may change their lives forever. As we begin the 25-26 school year, I encourage you to reflect on your why, your purpose, and more importantly, what you need to protect your wellness so that the greatest version of you continues to evolve in the district. I know that this can be easier said than done. I also know that this team before me today has the tenacity, grit, commitment, courage, and confidence to show up and take the school district into its greatness. Not only for our local Chester Upland community, but for Delaware County and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We serve as a beacon of hope in our community that can give our students and families access to educational opportunities, creating a brighter future. American schools across this nation are watching with interest and encouragement, hoping that they too can make it possible for students and families in their communities. How will we show up this school year, CUSD? How will we show up? Ready. How will we show up, CUSD? Ready. Together with our partners, we will write the next chapter with Seek Pride. Have a wonderful school year, CUSD. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to welcome CUA President, Ms. Murto.
Trying to lead the people.
Good morning. Happy 25-26 school year. I am Caitlin Murto, and I am the Chester Upland Education Association president. And I am very, very proud to be here serving as your president once again. Today, we stand at the start of a brand new school year. And I want us to remember the power that we hold. We are not just teachers, counselors, administrators, and staff. We are builders of futures. We create the spark that turns questions into curiosity, effort into achievement, and possibility into reality. Our students are counting on us. They need our energy, our vision, our belief in them, even on the tough days. And when we come together, there is nothing stronger than the collective force of educators united for kids. So let's charge into this year with purpose. Let's bring the magic, the rigor, and the hope that only we can provide. Our students deserve nothing less, and together we will deliver it. All CUEA members and potential members are invited to join us for our session at 11:15 a.m. so we can start the year strong and united. Here's to the year ahead. Let's make it extraordinary. Together we rise.
Good morning, everybody. So first, I'm going to start off by saying I'm a little nervous. I'm really not a public speaker, so please bear with me. But first, let me start off by saying my name is Tyrell Whitehead. I am truly honored to stand before you today as your newly appointed union president for our I want to begin by thanking each and every one of you for the work that you do every single day. Often our roles happen behind the scenes, but make no mistake, our efforts are essential to the success of our schools, our teachers, and most importantly, our students. This year, my commitment as your union president is simple: to be your voice, to be your advocate, and most importantly, to be your partner. We are stronger together, and when we stand united, we not only protect our rights, but also uplift the entire Chester Upland School District. Let's move into this new school year with pride, determination, and unity, knowing that the work we do changes lives. So also, to be transparent with you guys, I just recently took the position on last Tuesday to be official. So as of right now, I have nothing scheduled, but if you see me, I will be around and I will make my presence known and have some information for you to come. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Carlina Parker. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at the Chester Upland School District. I am very excited to welcome you all back to the 2025-2026 school year. Let's give our union leadership another round of applause. As they stated, you all are very vital to our students' success, and we all need to work together. There is no you without us, and no us without you for the Chester Upland School District, and our students deserve all of us and all of what we have to offer. Now we will have a speaker, a student speaker, coming before us. This student is a senior for the 2025-2026 school year. She is a cheerleader and a member of the flag football team, an all-around student leader. Deja Price. Deja Price. Deja Price. Let me say that again. Deja Price. Main Street, where you at? You know she's our baby.
Good morning and welcome back, Chester Upland family. My name is Deja Price, and I am a proud senior at STEM Academy. I stand before you today not only as a student, but as an athlete, a flag football player, a cheerleader, and most importantly, as a representative of an amazing voice in the student Upland, Chester Upland. This year's theme is a beacon of hope, a brighter future for our community, CUSD. Reminds me of what it means to be on a team, on the field, on the track, or on the sidelines. One person cannot do it alone. It takes all of us working together, believing in each other, and lifting each other up to win. And here, our Chester Upland, we are one big team. Students, staff, teachers, coaches, and the community. As a student, I know that hope doesn't come easy. Sometimes life throws us challenges that makes the future feel uncertain. But what gives us strength and what gives us hope are the people who stand beside us. You, our teachers and staff. You are the ones who guide us, push us, and cheer us on louder than anyone else. Without you, there would be no us. Without your encouragement, there would be no victories in the classrooms, no celebration in the hallways, or no brighter futures to work towards. I have learned through sports that a voice is powerful. It can motivate, it can inspire, it can change the whole energy of the game. Students work the same way in education. When our voices are heard, when our ideas are respected, we feel true partners in our own success. That's the gift you give us every time you listen, every time you encourage, and every time you remind us that we matter. So today, on behalf of all the students of Chester Upland, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being our coaches in life, for being the reason we can look ahead and believe in brighter days. Thank you for showing up, for believing in us, and for reminding us that we are more than what the world sometimes expects us. We are powerful, we are capable, and full of promises. As we begin this school year, let us remember that hope is not just something we talk about. It's something we live out together every day. Staff and students, side by side, building a future that shines brighter because of our team and our pride. I want to leave you with this. Every student's future is written by the teachers and mentors who believe in them the most. You are those mentors. You are beacons of hope. And because of you, we believe in brighter futures that is waiting on us all. Welcome back, CUSD family. Let's make this year unforgettable. Thank you.
Let's give Deja another round of applause. example of all of our students here in Chester Upland School District, all that they are capable of doing, all that they need from us, and inspire us to do our very best work. Now, at this time, we would like to acknowledge our schools and all of the hard work that our school leadership does each and every school day. Like Jay and all the other speakers have mentioned, we all have to work together. And so at this time, in this order, I'm going to ask the school leaders to come down at the front. I'm going to ask everyone to hold their applause because there's a special little thing I want you to do. So first we have Chester High School. Please come down, Principal Popley and AP Parker. STEM Academy, and as they have been sharing this year, one school, 2 campuses, STEM Academy, Mr. Ronald Brown and AP Scrub, Toby Farms, Dr. Burrell, HUSA, Principal Loper and AP Dr. Odom, Main Street School, Principal Bentley, Campus Principal Dr. Green, ESA, Edgemont Scholars Academy and Stetzer, AP Deletto, AP Jackson. You're going to get a chance, you're going to get a chance. Just hold on a minute. I got you. Okay. So now let's give it up for all of our school leaders. An event that we have every school year at the end of the year called a celebration of excellence. And one of the things that Dr. Moline wanted to make sure that we were all united today and that we were all acknowledged for all our efforts and impact that we make with our students each and every day. So we wanted to make sure that you all got an opportunity to celebrate and acknowledge the Teachers of the Year and Spirit Award winners of the year from the celebration of excellence. So if each one can come down and stand in front of their school leaders. Please come down front. Come on down. Please stand in front of your school leader. Thank you all for indulging me. I know it's a little bit different than what we've done in the past, but it was very important that we acknowledge all of the hard work and impact that people are making each and every single day and give you an opportunity to celebrate them as well. Digital Academy? to say Chester High School because we want to make sure that Chester High School, that we understand that Digital Academy is part of Chester High School. But Digital Academy is doing wonderful things. Mr. Yeoman is an awesome director, so I want to make sure that he is acknowledged as well. So, without further ado, we would like to also, if we can have our new teachers to Chester Upland School District, just stand where you are. Just stand where you are. You don't have to come down. Just stand where you are. All new teachers to Chester Upland School District. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for choosing Chester Upland School District. You could have gone anywhere and you chose here. We promise to take care of you. We are going to tell you and show you what C-Pride means. Thank you all so much. Maybe sit down. Thank you. In an effort to also share with you this idea that we are a united school district, and Central Office is here to support schools and teachers in their growth. Each one of our district leaders, department heads, are going to come and share with you a warm welcome and how they will be supporting your schools this school year. So please welcome the Director of Student Success and Engagement, Ms. Dana Bowser.
Good morning, Chester Upland! Oh, come on. Buenos dias, bienvenidos. Welcome, everybody. All right, here we go. For those of you who may not know me, which I don't think that's many of you, but my name is Dana Bowser, and I have the honor of serving once again as the Director of Student Success and Engagement. My department works to ensure that every student and staff feels connected, valued, and seen. From social emotional learning through positive action, the first 5 and SEL check-ins, to supporting displaced youth through McKinney-Vento Act, to our commitment to DEIB, student voice, youth leadership, the arts, and relationships. Our mission is simple: to be a beacon of hope for our students and their families. And this morning, you know me, I want to share a message with you through a poem and what it means for all of us to carry that light together. A beacon of hope, a brighter future. Welcome and welcome back, CUSD family, to another year. A year of promise, of purpose, a light breaking through fear. On behalf of the Office of Student Success and Engagement, I say we are honored to begin this journey with you today. For it is you, our staff, who carry that flame, who give every child the courage to dream. You are the heartbeat, the strength, the embrace, the reason our schools are a welcoming place. We are the keepers of hope, the guides of tomorrow, the comfort in pain, and the balm for sorrow. When the world feels uncertain, when the storms start to rise, we are the beacons of hope that lift the children's eyes. In our district, success is not measured in scores alone. It's in the voices of students who feel safe and known. It's in the power of belonging and relationships that last, and seeing every child's future brighter than their past. Through SEL, we teach hearts how to grow. Through empathy, kindness, and courage, we sow. The first 5 minutes we spend each day lay the foundation for connection in every single way. Through positive action, we remind students true that the best of the world begins inside of you. We serve our displaced youth with compassion and grace. The McKinney-Vento Act ensures in school they still have a place. Inclusion is not just a word, but our call. DEIB means belonging for each and for all. Every student, each culture, each language, each name deserves to be honored, uplifted, proclaimed. We lift up their voices, their passions, their art, because students' expression is the soul of the heart. From Chester's Got Talent, art, poetry, dance, music, and song, our children remind us of where we all belong. So here's to you, our staff, the bridges you build, to classrooms of joy where young spirits are filled, to being the anchor when seas start to break, to giving our scholars the chances they take. We are CUSD. Together we rise, with hope in our hearts and fire in our eyes. A brighter future begins what we do here, a beacon of hope that shines year after year. As we begin the school year, let us carry that beacon of hope forward for ourselves, for each other, and most importantly, for our students, because together we are unstoppable. And now let's close in the way that only Chester Upland can. When I say see, you say pride. See? Pride. See? Pride. See? Pride. Together we shine, a brighter future, a beacon of hope, that's see pride. Thank you, Chester Upland, and welcome back.
Next, we will have our athletics director. Followed by the business office and human resources.
Good morning, everyone. As always, I think the first time we don't get everyone's attention, but good morning, everyone. Good morning. That sounds more like it. I just want to say welcome back to our teachers, faculty, staff, leadership. Welcome back to 2025, 2026, and for those who are new, welcome to the Chester Upland School District. As I just surveyed the room, there's thousands upon years of experience, and not just education, but in life. And so let that be your classroom, the opportunity to engage the young people and to share with them life lessons. Yes, curriculum is so important, but the relationship is so much more. In the athletic department, as well as activities, that's the goal, is to build relationships. We have a lot of coaches who love the sport, the specific sport. However, it means nothing if the relationship isn't built. And so there's this motto for us in our department, quality over quantity. We want a quality person in front of our young people. And so that's our driven force, that's our drive, is to make sure that we have quality before our student athletes. And we just seen one of our very own young ladies presenting a message, not only to coaches, but to all of us, about how we ought to be together for them. And so that's the mission from the athletic department, is to make sure that we build up our student athletes, letting them know that we love them, that we have a genuine relationship with them. And I'll share it this way. We're 50% participation in PIAA, meaning that we have out of 20 sports, 10 are active. And out of that 10, just last year, 50% of that number were league champions. That's a round of applause. And so when we talk about quality, that's exactly what we mean. It's not easy to become champion, and really we don't look at the win and loss column. However, we look at what's behind the win and loss column. You don't become a winner without genuine substance. And so that's what we look for from our coaches, is to make sure that we have quality before their very eyes. So we thank you so much. We look forward to you supporting our athletic department. You can follow us on Chester Clippers Shipyard on Facebook, Clippers_athletes on Instagram, and ChesterClippers.com for all information. Thank you so much. God bless.
Good morning, Chester Upland School District. Good morning. I am in the presence of greatness. Everyone in here, because you have chosen to be servants to our students and to our community, the word says, These among you that serve are greater. And so you, every last one of you, look around. This is greatness happening at Chester Upland School District. My name is Arlene Geathers, and I am the business manager for Chester Upland School District. And our department, the business office, has goals that we want to improve our communication with our Chester Upland School District community. We want to be more efficiently operating, and so we have things in process to do that. And one of our biggest goals this year is to continue to align our decision-making process with our recovery plan so that we can move out of receivership and allow the community to operate as a healthy school district, that is our goal, and that can be accomplished among greatness. So I say to all of you, and our commitment as a staff is that we will be intentional about our decisions in the business office. We will be resilient. We will be asset language speaking positively, and we will walk with you as we walk out greatness. The business office, we're going to be bosses. And what that's spelled BOSSSS. A business office serving students, staff, and stakeholders. So welcome, Chester Upland School District, as we serve each other and serve our students so that they too can walk in the greatness that's inside of them. It is our job to awaken the greatness in others so that they can have the greatness that they have been purposed to have. Thank you very much and have a great school year.
Good morning. So I know this theme is a beacon of hope for our students. So today I wanted to focus on our staff members. So in order for all of us to be a beacon of hope for our students, we have to be whole ourselves. Sometimes I want to talk about something that often gets pushed to the bottom of our to-do list, but that truly deserves to be at the top. And that's you, your health, and your well-being. We know that working in education is more than just a job, it's a calling. You show up every day, not just with lesson plans and strategies, but with patience, compassion, creativity, and energy. Whether you're in the classroom, behind the scenes, or in our administrative offices, you are the heartbeat of this district. And because of that, your well-being is incredibly important to us. The district is committed to supporting each and every one of you, not just professionally, but personally. We encourage all employees to take advantage of the wellness resources that are available to you. These include our partnerships with Penn Medicine through the Employee Assistance Program, our wellness initiatives in collaboration with the PCIU Healthcare Trust, and a variety of services and benefits that are offered through our insurance agencies, which we will have a presentation for them after convocation concludes at 10:30. These resources are here for you, whether you're navigating stress, looking for support with mental health, needing assistance with personal or family challenges, or simply trying to lead a healthier lifestyle. We don't have to wait for a crisis to occur. We want to encourage a proactive approach to wellness. Your health, both mental and physical, should be a priority and not an afterthought. We also understand the importance of work-life balance. That can be tough in education where the lines between work and personal life often blur, but balance is not a luxury, it is a necessity. And it's something we're committed to helping you maintain. A healthier, more balanced life means more energy, more focus, and more fulfillment, not only in your work, but in your life outside of it. To everyone here today, thank you. Thank you for your energy, your professionalism, and compassion you bring into our schools and into the lives of our students and families every day. Your commitment does not go unnoticed, and your impact is real. It matters here. So as we begin this new school year, I hope you take a moment to reflect on your own needs as well. Make space for your own wellness, however that looks for you. Use the resources, reach out for support if you need it. Know that you are not alone, the Chester Upland School District stands with you. On behalf of the entire Department of Human Resources, I wish everyone a safe and productive and rewarding school year. Let's take care of each other, and most importantly, let's remember to take care of ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pless. At this time, I believe we have the mayor here. Mayor Roots will come and give us some words of encouragement.
Good morning. Good morning. Everything that she said last, she was rattling it all. Listen, as mayor of the city of Chester, the first thing I need to do is welcome all of you new teachers and administrators to the city of Chester, if you're new, obviously, and I expect that there are a few new faces in the room. This is the most exciting time of the year for you guys, I'm sure. You're all rested up from the summertime. You know what you got in store for you coming up next week. The new students, it's always a new start. It's a new start for me every 1st of September. I don't know what it is. All those years of school just makes me want to start something new in September. New Year's resolutions don't mean a thing to me. It's always about September 1st for me. I just want to say, as a mayor in the city of Chester who has no jurisdiction over the school district, I often say I can't buy a book, I can't hire a teacher, I can't create curriculum. But the one thing that we do have in common are the students, the children of the entire district. My job primarily on behalf of you guys is to make sure they're safe. So we make sure we engage in the crossing guard situation. I love everything about, Chester High School being a 1978 graduate from this fine institution of learning. So you'll see me pop up at football games, basketball games, volleyball games, just everything. I love the sports part of it, but academically I always like getting engaged as well. Last year was probably a really shining moment for me where I was over at the library and they were doing a presentation, educational piece around Black Wall Street, and one of the exercises was writing a letter to the mayor. And the students weren't shy. I got 16 letters from students saying that they want Chester to be the new Black Wall Street, and it really has shaped my vision for the city. These young people aren't scared to take over this town. Older people are a little afraid, but young people are like, no, we got this. We want to be entrepreneurs. We want to see black businesses thriving. We want to see Harlem. I'm really glad you clapped for that, because that's really real. We want our students to learn, get educated, come back, stay, and build the city that they want it to be. I will say, with no hesitation, we adults have failed them. The city is in terrible condition right now. And those are the ones that have to come behind us and have a different way of thinking about the space that they grow up in and make this a desirable place to live. It all starts right here with early learning, early education. Anyway, that I can assist you guys, whether it's from the teeniest tot in kindergarten all the way up to the 12th grader, please let me know. There's a few of you who probably already know I've engaged in some of my connections internationally and have talked to a few of the superintendents around Chester, not just the school district, but the Catholic schools, charter schools are somewhat in our realm as well. But we're looking to educate middle schoolers in a program that will be the first in the United States. It's going to launch right here in Chester to connect our students. Wait a minute, no, hold on. The clap line is this. We're connecting students to the world. Taiwan, Japan, Singapore, India, and here in the United States. New Jersey's been a little slow, New York's been a little slow. I'm like, we're not slow. So I see Dr. Mamoon right there, she took the meeting. I heard you were the most exciting of all, doing backflips and wearing your cheerleader uniform. So I know I have your support there. But again, anything that you need, whether it's a piece of equipment, some manpower, or just a clap to you. So thank you guys so much.
Mayor Roots. We will now have federal programs, pupil services, special education, and curriculum instruction. In that order, please. Let's give our mayor another round of applause. As he goes back to
Good morning, Chester Upland School District. Good morning. Oh, come on. This is 2526. Good morning. So I'm not going to speak before you today, this morning, because I'm going to spend a significant amount of time with you throughout the week at each one of your buildings. I know many of you have been looking at the news over the summer, and there was a lot of concern about whether school districts would have federal funds. And I'm here to tell you, yes, we will have Title I, Title II, Title III federal funding. We will also have 21st Century Community Learning Center funding. I know there was a lot of talk about cutting out the school services, so we will be able to support our 700 participant students who take part in that program. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Wilson. Oh, I didn't think I said my name. Good morning. I'm Monique Hales. I serve as your Federal Programs Director. I apologize for that. And I look forward to spending time with you later this week. Dr. Wilson.
Good morning. So of course, I am the Director of Pupil Services, and I have the pleasure to be with you today. I want to really quickly acknowledge, because when I say Pupil Services, no one really knows what that means. So in the Chester Upland School District, responsible for several different areas. So Mr. Rothwell, can you stand up really quickly? Mr. Rothwell, who's responsible for child accounting. Many of you may not know him, but he helps make sure the money is right in terms of how students are billed. We also have Ms. Bonaparte. Ms. Bonaparte, are you here? Everybody should know Ms. Bonaparte. We're going to go ahead and do Ms. Bonaparte. Central registration, she is responsible for central registration. All of our school nurses, can you stand? Any of our nurses, please stand. We have a couple of here. Our school counselors, can you stand? Our social workers, will you stand? Awesome. Our mental health professionals, our ADY program, the Lincoln Center, can you stand? If you're here, please stand. Thank you. So when we talk about pupil services, these are some of the areas that we're responsible for, of just making sure our students have everything they need to be successful. We are responsible not only, again, for the registration and accounting and those pieces, but really making sure that the supports that all of you as teachers in the classrooms, our support staff need to help our students be successful. This year we will continue the work around MTSS and making sure that we have tailored intervention plans for our students who need that level of support. We have trauma-informed groups that are taking place, mental health first aid for our students taking place. We want to make sure that our students know that all the people who just stood, as well as all of you, are here to have their back. At the end of the day, some of our students are going to struggle, but I believe very firmly that whatever is good, whatever is true, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, think on these things. So I want to challenge all of you today that the same spirit in which you came in here today, keep that same spirit throughout the course of the year. Our students need the very best that you have to offer. And my job is to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable. Because at the end of the day, to whom much is given, much is required. We are here for a purpose. Let's get these results for our students. They deserve it. Have a wonderful school year.
Dr. Wilson. My name is Tracy Knight. I'm the Director of Special Education, and I just want to make sure that you understand that the Special Ed Department has been working really, really hard to ensure all children have access to education. So I want to make sure that I read to you what our Special Ed Department guiding practice statement is. So every decision we make, every move we make is by this guiding practice. The special ed department is committed to providing inclusive, high-quality education that honors the strengths and needs of every student. We strive to ensure that each learner feels cared for, valued, and supported throughout their educational journey. Our practice is grounded in the belief that with the right supports, every student can reach their full potential. We aim to create environments where all students with disabilities meet key milestones and are fully prepared for the next phase of their academic, social, and personal development, empowered to thrive in school and beyond. Please remember that rigor is love. Rigor is love. We need to push our children to success, and as a special ed department, we will provide every support for not only our students, for all of you to be able to do that. You will see a lot more professional development in your buildings. We've been working closely with building leaders to ensure that they have the tools to support you, and we will be supporting you as well. Before I depart, I also would like to make sure that you understand that we have transitioned a lot of our virtual providers and related services to in-person providers. So we have a ton of OT, PT, speech, psychologists, please stand up. If you are a special ed teacher, please stand up so everyone can see your wonderful capabilities. Thank you. And also, I cannot leave without introducing the central admin team. Ms. Meg Santoro, Supervisor of Special Ed. Ms. Daria Adams.
Good morning again. I am Carlina Parker, Chief Academic Officer, as I shared earlier, and leader of the Curriculum and Instruction Department. And so I'm before you again to introduce my team so that you all know who they all are. We have some new members who are former members or teachers in the district, so it's very exciting to be able to introduce them. So as I share your names, please stand up. We have Mr. Eros Uthman Olakokun. Please give him a loud round of applause. He is the supervisor of academics, pre-K to 8. We have Mr. Dr. Gregory Lesher. He is the supervisor of secondary, 9 to 12. We have our CTE supervisor, Ms. Jeanette Best. We have in the pre-K world, our pre-K coordinator, Ms. Jamie Johnson. Please stand up. And we have our professional learning specialists. Please stand up so that you can get a look at who they are. They will be in your building supporting you in all things teaching and learning. We are the department that is all things teaching and learning. But what I would like to share with you is, first of all, we have been in your classrooms, we have seen your greatness, and we are asking you to give that greatness to our students, as you always do. And what we will promise to do, and our commitment, is to make sure that we are supporting you in everything that you need, from your curriculum materials, to coaching in your classroom, to any kind of professional development. That is our commitment to you, and we know that we're going to have a really great school year. As always, you can contact us with anything that you need. You know our emails, and we are excited for the new school year ahead. And with that, at 10 o'clock on the dot, I'm super impressed. We have a very, very special guest today that will be sharing some words of encouragement with you. Dr. Miranda is a former Washington, D.C. high school educator and now serves as an associate professor of Human Development and Family Studies at Penn State Brandywine, just a few miles down the road. She is also a proud Chester Cheetah mom and the author of the forthcoming book, Sounding the Alarm, Post-Pandemic Cultural Psychology and Evolving Identity Among Teachers of Black Students. Dr. Miranda has spent years in schools conducting trainings, listening to, and learning from teachers, including in this district, as she continues to be a steadfast ally and advocate for educators just like you. Please join me in giving a loud round of applause for Dr. Miranda.
Thank you so much. Is this good? A few weeks ago, right before I sat down to prepare this talk, I saw a viral video. A boy, maybe 11, possibly 12, full meltdown in the store. Now he was tossing things, even at the person filming the video, and he was clearly overwhelmed. Now we don't know his story. We don't know what triggered him. We don't know where he was on the spectrum, but what we do know is that he was losing it in the moment. Now, if you are a gentle soul, I suppose you may imagine comments on the thread were versions of, oh, poor child, or I so hope someone helps him, but nah. The comments were more like, I put a foot up his behind, he wouldn't be able to walk for a week, and that was the solution people cheered. It was kind of funny, to be honest, but also serious. Because while there might be some twisted satisfaction in giving the rare out-of-pocket kid his comeuppance, if you work in schools, you know this isn't rare anymore. This type of behavior is not just one random kid, and neurodivergence doesn't explain it all away. Not every kid who throws a book bag at you, yes, I'm looking at your teacher who got the book bag thrown at him a few weeks in the last end of the school year. Not everyone in that situation is on the spectrum. Especially in urban schools, sometimes this is every day. It's the stares, it's the challenges, the physical confrontations. And these are now the types of problems that teachers are up against. Plus, even if you wanted to spank, to terrorize a kid into obedience, you're not allowed to do that. And you might catch a charge, lose a job, go viral. But more than that, you know that if you raise a fist, some of these kids might raise a knife. Raise your voice, and some of these kids might escalate in ways that nobody in this space should be prepared to handle or have to handle. We know what it looks like, and we know why. These children have seen too much, been through too much, and the fear of physical consequences, that's the least of their concerns. When you haven't eaten enough or slept enough, when you don't know if rent's getting paid or if your brother's going back to jail, when that kind of instability is the norm, when poverty becomes a pressure cooker and classism and injustice pile on, you start to understand these kids aren't just angry, they're surviving. And they're not afraid of angry adults because anger is everywhere. And that anger flows to some folks sitting before me because that's where many of us are right now. Frustrated. Feeling like the expectations never stop growing while the resources are shrinking. If you felt that pressure, it doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're human. But if we stay stuck there, carrying everything the same way we always have, it eats away at us and at our students' success. Many of us need a reframing. I mean in society, not just in this space, many of us need a reframing. Something that allows us to keep showing up without losing ourselves. This is where my field, human development and family studies, can shed some light. We study people in context, family, school, community, culture, because no one lives in isolation. And when you step back and look through that lens, behavior that once seemed irrational suddenly makes sense. A parent, even the one of that kid losing it in the store, may react in a way that seems wrong to us, but inside their system, it feels like the only option they have. The same is true for our students. Their anger, their defiance, it isn't random. It's adaptation to everything that is pressing down on them. And you all are inside a system too. Your reactions, your coping strategies, whether it's yelling, telling your students, I already got my diploma. If you want to throw away your chance, that's on you.
or if it's blaming everyone around you for your own missteps. Those make sense in context as well. But just because it makes sense doesn't mean it's right or sustainable. That's why reframing is not about blame, it's about freedom, about choosing responses that help you and your students live, not just work. Live. You see, nearly a century ago, speaking to educators who dare step into this work, the renowned black sociologist W.B. Du Bois wrote the words, "Education must not simply teach work, it must teach life." Because he knew that if it were only about imparting skills, it would be easy. But it's not. It's about life. And life is complicated. Now imagine if you and more of your colleagues could reframe your work this way. Not just for your sanity, but for your students' growth. Because your coping strategies, just like a parent's, don't stay hidden. They ripple into the room and into how you handle the responsibility you carry. Into the kids who are watching, always watching. Knowing you're teaching life. What if you could take more responsibility for your own stress patterns? What if instead of waiting until your body says enough, you got ahead of it? And recognize your own triggers, your own propensity to collapse into judgment, preempt your own explosions. I don't mean to suggest this is easy. The last few years have exposed every vulnerability in our collective health. Streets filled with grief after George Floyd's murder. Politicians who reacted by trying to wind back the clock on racial progress. And all the while, everything got angrier. People snapping on airplanes, and school board meetings, and Target aisles, over pronouns and parking spots. Truth feels negotiable. Institutions feel brittle. And in that context, teachers are expected to teach. To stand in the gap for a society that is beyond struggling. For a society that keeps pulling away its support. Now I know this district. I know many of your parents are amazing and involved, but can we also be honest in this space and acknowledge that some parents have lost their minds too? And I know this district. I have been here, walked these halls, worked beside some of you. You are some of the most committed, brilliant, and powerful teachers I have ever seen. So if anyone ever tells me Chester teachers don't care, I know they're lying or playing foolish or racist. But even so, teachers are human too. And some of you have been standing at that same edge. And if you listen to the voices outside, the voices that devalue and doubt you, you might be tempted to give into frustration, to reach for punishment instead of power, despair instead of hope. So with all that in mind, allow me briefly to reintroduce you to what you're going to face this year. Let me reintroduce you to the beautiful and complicated and brilliant and difficult and strange and hope-filled children that you'll teach. Allow me to introduce them not for their sake, but for yours. Because you will be pushed and tested. But some of your colleagues already know there's a better way. It's what I call the formula in my upcoming book. What I found from 3 years of spending time, quality time, with some of the teachers in this room. And it is from this work that I have 3 messages for you. Message number 1, these kids aren't defective. And neither are you. I want you to sit with that because I know what's been said about Chester for decades. They've called this city broken, the schools broken, the children broken. But that story is not new. It's the same story America has told about black urban children for centuries. And when I say our children are broken, I'm not just giving you a pep talk. I'm standing within a tradition of thinkers and doers who fought for education as a place of freedom. People like Bell Hooks, scholar, who believed classrooms could be spaces of liberation. She never sugarcoated the pain, but she never stopped insisting on possibility. She once wrote, "The classroom remains the most radical space of possibility." I'd argue that's even more true here in Chester, where students carry both trauma and brilliance. And you have the power to turn survival into possibility. Hooks also warned us not to buy into the myth of deficient kids when she wrote, "There is no need to falsely idealize black children. What we must do is recognize them as fully human and protect them from the violence of a culture that refuses to see them that way."
That's the heart of it. Our children don't need to be fixed. They don't need you to come in and save them. They need to be protected. They need to be treated as fully human in a world that often refuses them that dignity. And you are not broken either. You are not the problem. Teaching is not just about test scores, it's about souls. As Hook says, to teach in a manner that respects and cares for the souls of our students is essential if we are to provide the necessary conditions where learning can most deeply and intimately begin. That is your calling. And in it there is joy and there is purpose. So don't let the trolls, the policymakers, or even your own self-doubt tell you otherwise. You are enough, and so are they. I keep thinking about the student from my high school teaching days, Tavon, the dark-skinned boy carrying poverty like a second backpack. It was so heavy on his shoulders. He wasn't in my class, but he lingered at the door because there was a girl he liked that I mentored, and he hung around. Now Tavon struggled with reading, with math, and he was teased, so he kind of just stopped trying. He once told me he didn't think he'd live past 25, so he had bigger concerns anyway. And he wasn't being dramatic. In his neighborhood near the DC school where I taught, it was pretty cool to survive past 18 years of age. And still he wrote poetry about galaxies and worlds that we couldn't even imagine. Some of my teaching colleagues looked at his poetry and thought he was daydreaming. They tried to refocus him, but I saw something different. I saw Tavon trying to navigate his own path toward hope. And that's where too many educators, myself included, slip into saviorism, because hope didn't protect him. Rejection began to reshape how he saw himself. He began to disappear inside himself, and we, assuming we're whole, want to swoop in, assuming they're flawed and pull them out of the fire. But Tavon didn't need saving. He needed seed. He needed someone to name what he was up against and give him tools, not just cheer when he kept going. See, I was a decent cheerleader, but I never gave him the language for what he would face after the cap and gown, which he did receive. I confused encouragement with preparation. Years later, I heard the news that Tavon was gone from an overdose, possibly suicide. And at his funeral, we remembered his smile, his poetry, but we didn't talk about the system that crushed him. But I think maybe we should have. Because Tavon's life didn't end in tragedy, it lived in it. We celebrate when black boys beat the odds, but we rarely ask why the odds are so stacked. We cheer their survival, but we don't give them maps. Then when they fall, we call it tragedy when really no one warned them about the cliff they were standing on the edge of. That's why all of this matters. Our students don't need saving, they need preparing. They need teaching that names truth and hands them the tools to navigate it. If I could speak to Tavon now, I'd tell him you were never broken, you were poetry. And we should have told you more often, not just that you were strong, but that you had the right to rest. We failed you with our silence, and we cannot fail the next one the same way. Tavon was enough, and so are your students. Message number 2, exceptional teachers walk among you, and you're probably one of them. That might be hard to believe, because somewhere along the way, teachers like you were taught to downplay your excellence, to doubt your success. You've been told in ways both loud and subtle that you're not enough. Your class is too quiet, then you're too harsh. If it's too loud, you're disorganized. If students love you, you're soft. If they fear you, you're a problem. See, that's gaslighting. Gaslighting that makes you second guess the very moments you should be proud of, making you think your power is just a fluke. Some of you have pulled students back from the brink of dropping out, have taught kids to read who are told they'll never catch up. You've kept a child in school who is this close to the streets. But because there's no certificate for that, because no one clapped at the staff meeting, some of you have been convinced that it doesn't count. So if this applies to you, let me say something to your spirit right now. It counts. This year, every time you go the extra mile, every time you stay after school, every time you speak life into a child who doesn't hear it anywhere else, it counts. You may not get a band
I wish you do. I really do. I do. Administrators, I really think they deserve it. But your efforts matter. And I know this because I walk beside many of you, and I know you're exceptional because you refuse to be mediocre, even when given every excuse to be. You're exceptional because you've been knocked down and you still get up the next day to teach. You're exceptional because you've chosen to believe in children even when it felt like no one was believing in you. I have walked beside of you who have had strokes and heart attacks, breakdowns literally with me in interviews, and I have seen you go to work the next day. You all are exceptional. So please own your excellence with a fire that says, I am called to this and I am good at it. There is power in that kind of confidence. So yes, exceptional teachers walk among you, and I'm telling you now, you're probably one of them. Message number 3. We may need to improve our mindsets. A few years ago, I found myself leaning against a stucco wall in a middle school hallway not too far from here. An white early 20s teacher was clearly overwhelmed, and she approached me looking like she was barely hanging on. She pulled me aside and told me a story. The year before, a shooting erupted just outside of her classroom. Bullets flying, kids and teachers hitting the floors. And she was only a student teacher then, but she came back anyway. Now a full-time teacher, she carried that trauma. She talked about parents who didn't return calls, students who snapped on her before sharing gut-wrenching stories of abuse, administrators who nodded sympathetically but didn't have resources to offer, and a social work team that she felt was out of its depth. She listed the challenges like beads on a string, her voice getting shakier with every encounter or every moment. And then she looked at me, eyes glassy, and said, I thought this job was going to matter. Now I'm not sure any of this makes a difference at all. Whew. And y'all, at that moment I had about 6 or 7 answers ready, locked and loaded. I could have told her about different pedagogies, cited someone, pointed to restorative justice protocols and measures. I could have even said, yes, this is too much. They're asking too much of you. But I didn't. Not because those answers were necessarily wrong, but because they weren't enough in that moment. What she needed wasn't technique. What she needed was a reframe. So I asked her, do your students know what they're up against? She frowned, know what? I said, you came to this profession to empower your students, your black students, yes. And she nodded. Then that's what you do. But you can't empower kids if you're too afraid to honor their truth. See, what I've learned in over a decade of researching teachers and working in spaces like this is we've over-relied on comfort strategies and under-committed to invoking the urgency of facing unfairness head-on. We keep giving educators calming corners and TikTok-friendly social-emotional tools while ignoring the structural trauma you and your students live with every day. We teach kids how to breathe through it, but not how to name it. We praise you for offering grace, but we don't train you to recognize when you're offering grace selectively or when your empathy turns into voyeurism. And maybe most dangerously, we keep telling you that you are the solution. That all the kid in front of you needs is your belief in them to be okay, when we know it's so much more complicated. But here's the thing, our kids don't need to be spared by you, they need to be prepared by you. I'm gonna say it again. Our kids don't need to be spared by you, they need to be prepared by you. They need to be heard, they need to be seen as capable of healing, not permanently scarred by their trauma. You see, the opposite of teaching the whole child is pathology, pity instead of partnership. It becomes, let me help you, when it should be, let me build with you. And if we're not careful, we replace teaching with coddling. We confuse de-escalation with disempowerment. We perform empathy, but never really relinquish power. I've seen this over and over again in my research. Teachers who assume a student isn't resilient enough because they're not bouncing back on our timeline. Who want to have deep, real conversations about trauma, but forgot to ask if the student actually wants to talk. Or if this moment is more about the teacher's own need to feel needed.
Look, when we're talking about black kids, especially those in under-resourced communities like Chester, good teaching practice has to go deeper. It has to challenge the systems that cause the harm. It has to reject this idea that we need to hear the gory details of a student's life in order to believe them, in order to help them. You don't need their whole story to be their advocate. You don't need to see their scars to offer safety. What you need is to build structures, to normalize boundaries, not blur them. Some of the most successful teachers I've observed in this district don't sit in kids' pain for sport. They do not ask kids to bleed on the floor to know how deep the wound is. They create systems that absorb pain and redirect it toward purpose. They deal with their own stuff. I met one such teacher a couple years before she joined my study during a breakout room after a PD. The head of school was there, and so was a couple of colleagues, and the talk shifted from theory to life until she fell silent and then wept. Her name, I'm going to call her here Serenity. And she wept from years of hidden pain breaking loose. No one interrupted, we just held space. Later she told me she hadn't cried like that in years because she was always the one holding it down. Check on your strong friends. But I had said words that rooted deep in her. You are not a savior. Words she had heard before, but this time it landed differently, less as a judgment and more as an opportunity to reset. See, Serenity had grown up in chaos. Anxious mother, addicted father, adult problems before she could even ride the bus. As an adult, she carried those traumas while parenting alone. She was grieving numerous losses, and she was still showing up for her students. But that day, Serenity saw her silence, her over-functioning for what they were, survival strategies. And she began to rebuild. Not only by bouncing back, but by becoming someone new. She set boundaries, scheduled her life with intention, kept weekly massages, and stopped hauling student work home on a daily basis. In her classroom, she shifted from control to compassion, seeing her students not as test scores or cases, but as children with layered emotions. She started using these color-coded pens. Y'all do that? Black for grief, yellow for joy, etc., etc. And she started reading her students' emotions, choosing understanding over punishment, refusing, as she said, to send her kids out of the classroom or write referrals because she no longer believed in recording temporary problems with permanent ink. She made peace with imperfection. She let go of burdens that weren't hers and treated lashing out as a cry instead of disrespect. And the result, her students, no longer simply obedient, came alive in her room, thriving where they struggled elsewhere because, as she put it, and this is her quote, it's not magic, it's time, and it's care. That's the work. And yes, it's hard, but it's not about doing it perfectly, it's about doing it differently. So that is what I explained to the teacher I met in that hallway, which is why I shared proudly that when I saw her again a year later in the front row of my follow-up training, she was smiling and noticeably lighter. She saw me walk in and mouthed, "Don't save them." I nodded and said out loud, "Teach them that they don't need to be saved." So that's where we begin today. We begin by being earnest, because our students are screaming, and it's time we stopped performing care and started practicing liberation. You see, it turns out Chester doesn't need rescuing, because Chester is not broken. What it needs is whole child truth-telling, and you teachers are part of that witnessing. So yes, let me introduce you once again to the truth of the students you are going to meet this year. Not the caricatures you've been handed out on the news, not the deficit labels in their files or in the teacher's lounge, but the real children sitting in front of you. From a human development perspective, childhood today is already turbulent. The brains of the students in your care are still under construction. Their sense of identity is fragile but urgent. They crave belonging, but they're terrified of rejection. They test boundaries, but they're desperate for guidance. They are becoming, but not yet there. But hear me clearly. They deserve to be seen in their wholeness. They deserve to be seen as children in the process of becoming adults, not as miniature failures. They deserve to be seen by you in ways the world refuses to see them, because their healthy development depends on it. James Baldwin was right when he said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Angela Davis was right when she said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Serenity Humphreys, your peer, was right when she said it's not magic, it's time, it's care. If a child only ever sees themselves reflected through punishment or pity, they learn to believe that's all they are. But when you reflect back their possibility, when you treat them not as broken but as becoming, they start to imagine a different future. So when you walk into those hallways this year, please remember, your role is to teach them that they don't need to be saved. Your role is to give them the tools and the dignity to grow into who they already are. When a child refuses to pick up the pencil because they're tired of feeling behind, don't save them. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. When the test scores don't reflect the brilliance you see every day, don't save them. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. When a student tells you straight up, like Tavon told me, I don't think I'll make it to 25, don't save them. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. When policymakers threaten to send your funding elsewhere, to merge your schools, to threaten with a charter takeover, when the media paints your students as problems instead of possibilities, don't save them. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. When white supremacists storm the Capitol, when bigots drag them and you on social media for teaching them, when people who don't know this city blithely condemn these schools and you, the teachers within. See, I think we need to spend more time calling back the ancestors who understood that this struggle was always about more. The ones who risked everything to teach black children to read during slavery. The ones who built schools from nothing during Reconstruction. The ones who kept knowledge alive under Jim Crow. The ones who carried books and classes into prisons during the age of mass incarceration and the war on drugs and the war on black people. That's the lineage I'm standing in. I'm channeling my grandmothers, those segregation and post-segregation educators who knew this work was never just about a lesson plan. They knew it was about life and death of the body, but also of the soul. So don't pity them. Don't lower the bar. Don't call them broken. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. Let me end by telling you something that doesn't get said enough. The despair you sometimes feel as teachers, it isn't an accident. It has been manufactured. You've been gaslit into believing you're never doing enough. Every time the media drags teachers for failing schools. Every time politicians stand at a podium questioning your preparation or your value. Every time the institution itself piles on another task without taking one away. The message underneath is the same. You're not good enough, you're not qualified enough. And here's the trick. When you internalize that lie, you start believing you've got to save the kids to prove your own work. That if they aren't okay, it means you failed. But hear me now. That's part of the same cultural problem. It's the system's way of exhausting you, dividing you from your own students, and keeping the cycle going. I don't want you carrying that burden into fall 25. I want you released from the burden of proving yourself so you can step into your purpose and do the work with joy and teach with clarity instead of despair. Don't save them. Teach them that they don't need to be saved. Because that refrain isn't just for your students, it's for you. When you feel like you're standing at the edge, running on fumes, what do you say? When the voices outside ridicule you, devalue you, what do you say? When you're tempted to shut down, what do you say? When your own self-doubt whispers that you're not enough, what do you say? When you are struggling with the stories of your students that you have brought home, when they haunt your thoughts and steal your sleep, what do you say? Don't save them. Teach them that they have never needed to be saved. So as you head into the school year, carry this with you. Chester's children are not waiting to become valuable. They already are. And your presence, your skill, your compassion, in your fire, it matters probably more than you know. The noise may be loud, the barriers may be intimidating, but so is your power. Here's the charge. Don't get sidetracked by the politicization of human dignity. Don't let the manufactured outrage around words like equity or diversity trick you into forgetting what's at stake. Do not be bamboozled by narratives designed to dehumanize, distract, and divide. They are not about you, and they have never been about the children you serve. And while these narratives may be loud, they are not more powerful than a teacher who has made up their mind to see, to serve, and to stay. Now, in my final moments here, my final seconds, I want to pause here to say something important. At Penn State Brandywine, we see ourselves as your partner in this work. We are right down the street. I see myself as your partner in this work. We are educating many of your students, and we want to see them thrive, not just get in the door, but graduate and carry that success back into their families and communities. So in as much as we can be helpful, in as much as we can walk alongside you to create pathways for your students, we are interested in and invested in that conversation. We don't just want to say we value you, we want to show it. And that's why I want to recognize that our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Jen Nesbitt, is here with me today. She didn't have to be, but she wanted to show support and decided to join us for this presentation. It tells you something about the commitment we are bringing to this partnership. Friends. Can I call you friends? Sure. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up with the courage to believe that what you do each day changes lives. Because it does. You are not just educators, you are architects of possibility. You are the reason that hope finds a foothold. Let this be the year that the city feels you. Let this be the year your students realize they are worth the effort, worth the brilliance, and worth the investment. And if you ever doubt your impact, remember this. The most powerful force in a child's life is a teacher who chooses to see them again and again, even when the world does not. Thank you, and let's get to work.
Such a powerful speech. Thank you again, Dr. Miranda. We appreciate you taking the time to encourage our staff, to let them know how valuable we believe that they are here at CUSD. And we have work to do, and we're ready to do it. So at this time, convocation is coming to a close. Thank you all. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for being here. We are super excited and ready to begin our new school